Recession brings opportunities, not only financially, but in spiritual revelations. Last week, we talked about practical things you can do right now, which I'll link to later, but let's go further. Welcome to Morning Tea. I'm Joanne Jolee, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, would you take a moment and subscribe to this channel, and let's jump right in. A recession is time to take advantage of a down marketplace. Stocks and bonds are down. That leaves plenty of room to grow. In real estate, you make your money when you purchase distressed properties. These properties can be renovated and held. We know that the rental market is growing and is looking to surge. The rents are going to bring you monthly income along with a built-in equity that's going to grow over time, if you will do your due diligence and work with a professional, of course. And note, this is also a time when schemers can delude the smartest of investors. I have personally seen people swindled out of millions, which leads to number 2, don't panic over your investment ups and downs. I know it's crazy right now. I don't like what I'm seeing, but chances are good that it's going to be okay. Historically, this is how it goes with long-term investments, and the losses are generally made back up. The market falls and rises, but the one thing that you don't want to do is to act emotionally. So talk to your advisor, sleep on any big decision before you proceed. Actually, some people hold to a far more stringent 3-day rule, which may be even more prudent. Interest rates continue to rise, so get rid of your credit card debt. I've said this before, that interest will just eat you alive. The first thing to do is to renegotiate the rate, get it down as low as you possibly can, and then you're going to restructure your budget and your finances so you can just blow that debt away. Personally, I never have any credit card debt at all. I only charge to my cards what I can pay off by the end of the cycle, so I don't ever get charged interest. Any loans that we have taken out, like vehicle loans, for instance, are on those 0% specials when they roll around, or very low, very short term. Don't forget that the debtor is slave to the lender. The rich man rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave of the lender. You're working for them. You're passing along your hard-earned dollars right into their pockets. And what for? What are the sorts of impulsive or luxury purchases that are so often made on credit cards? It's a little bit embarrassing if you look at it. Even if you are in a good place financially right now, we don't know what's going to happen. Therefore, we need to make sure that there is liquid cash reserves for at least 3 to 6 months or more if possible. These are funds that you can quickly get to without having to sell off some property under stress or under pressure, and probably at a loss because the market value isn't there at that time. Which brings me to the revelation of recessions. The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He frustrates the plans of the peoples. So when God is frustrating our carefully laid plans for us, for our nation, there are lessons to learn. In a recession, our financial situation may become exposed if we have been poor stewards of our resources. We've not saved. We've not been prudent and sought proper counsel. We've overspent. We have not prepared for a storm when the clouds are so obviously on the horizon. Then our desperate situation will be made known. In a recession, it becomes clear how fragile our system is and how wonderful our blessings have been. When we suffer loss, we see how we have perhaps taken our endowments for granted. We've not managed them well. We realize maybe for the first time all that we had. And sometimes a recession can have such an impact that we are forced to seek help and even cry out to God in our time of need. As C.S. Lewis said, hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destiny. In this state of humility, we can experience growth in our faith, and others will have an opportunity to do good deeds as they help you to their spiritual credit, because doing good deeds increases love. The one you help will love you more, and you will gain so much more back from being a source from which help comes, maybe even the source of miracles. God does his best work in the realm of the impossible. Think about it. Abraham and Sarah, well beyond childbearing years, have a son. The Israelites, trapped at the Red Sea with an army approaching, the seas part. Walls in the way at Jericho, they fall down. A Messiah king to arrive, to a virgin teenager. Recessions hurt everyone to some degree. They wake us up. They shine a light on material problems, which are so often indicators of spiritual problems. Our material pleasures are harder or even impossible to enjoy, and we are implored to search for greater meaning. And we are meant to seek and find God in those times, to realize his great blessings, to see his miracles. It just so happens that I was reading Spurgeon this morning, And I made a note in regard to a blessings statement, which fits very nicely here. As the furious storm gives place to the clear sunshine, so the night of weeping precedes the morning of joy. I love that for so many reasons, but it's kind of like that in the investment storm. The clear day will arrive again. I have some other tips for getting your personal economy in order, so check this link out here. Thank you so much for being here today. Every week I put out content to inspire and encourage you, so don't go without subscribing, and remember to look for the blessings. They're all around you. Thank you.
Where would it be?